A very warm greetings to everyone. Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, RMD Engineering College. So here in this video, we'll discuss about the subject database management system. So I'm going to discuss about the topic locking protocols. We'll discuss about that. So why we go for locking protocols? Locking protocol is nothing but this is also another like schedule to address, okay, concurrency you have concurrency system, right? So to address, so that concurrency process will have some issues also. To overcome that process, we have schedules. Now yes, we'll talk about the locking protocols. So how it does, okay? So the assumption, the requirement that is necessary for implementing whatever you want, which means the necessary is nothing but if I want to send money from A to B, then my necessary items are account B, account A and B. So what I will do in this locking protocol is I will lock that particular account. I will not let that account to any other persons, so that to avoid the overwriting all such things. So how these locking protocols works, we'll say. Okay, the types of locks. One is binary locks, the other one is shared exclusive lock, also known as read-write locks. Binary locks are nothing but ones and we are going to understand the locks with respect to ones and zero. I am just applying my lock concept. If I just check with the if condition, if I'll lock, right? When I start the transaction itself, I have to lock it. If I lock, when the account is locked, my lock is equal to 1 will be present. If my if lock is equal to 1, then the other transaction, if though it is simultaneously performing, when someone is performing, I also want to perform, it will let you to perform. But when I go and approach that particular account and if I see that lock is equal to 1, then I have to wait in the lobby. Okay, I'll be waiting to complete that particular, I'll be waiting for to complete that particular transaction. If it is 0, then no issues, I'll perform my transaction. So with handling with zeros and ones is called binary locks. So here also lock and unlock item. So we have two different operators. So as I said, if lock of x is 1, the transaction is forced to wait. If lock of x is 0, it is set to 1 and you will be allowed to do the transaction for the item x. So this is in a simple example. I'm going to want to address the B account. So I'll check what is my lock. Lock is equal to 0. Then what I'll do, I'll convert the lock into 1 and I will begin my process to do. Okay, and the next people has to wait until the lock of x is equal to 0. Okay, until then the other people will be waiting. Okay, so this is how this process will work. Okay, I'm just making else begin wait. Okay, if the lock is equal to 0, you'll make the lock as 1 and you'll start your transaction. Else you will begin wait. Okay, you'll go into the waiting state until when you will be there when lock is equal to 0, and then you will go to B and you'll end the transaction. You will unlock the item, then after completing your transaction, you will unlock your item. So now the lock will be 0 and likewise the same set will be detected. So system locks tables are nothing but lock manager subsystem. So we have some different conditions. When my T transaction, okay, T transaction, which means my lock of data item X, you have to lock the item before any read. Okay, any read or write operation is made. Okay, before you read or before you write, you have to lock the system first. That is the first condition. After you reading also, you have to unlock both read and write operation. That is the second condition. So you will not be issued lock operation if already some lock is happened. Okay, so if already some lock is present and you cannot go and apply any new locks. Okay, if already some lock is there, okay, which means the T transaction will not issue an unlock item operation unless it already holds a lock item. That means I didn't lock my system itself, then how can I make unlock? So that is the case. So my first case is you have to read or write without you should lock your item before read or write. You have to unlock your system after read or write. You cannot give lock system when already lock is present. And the final one is you cannot give an unlock item when there is no lock in the transaction itself. Okay. So next is we'll see about shared and exclusive locks. Shared locks is nothing but it's used only for the purpose of reading. Okay, you will be sharing multiple data items to different peoples, but they cannot write. They can only read in the shared mode. Okay, when coming to the exclusive mode, both the things are possible. So you can read or write. Okay, the lock compatibility is nothing but the nothing but that conflict condition only. If both the things are in read operation, it is true. Other than everything are false. Likewise, both the things are in shared mode, then it is true. Other things are false. Okay, so this is another conditions which as we saw in the system table. So the T must be operation read lock or write lock before any read. So write also same cases before. You should operation write or read item before anything. Unlock also, after all read and write you have to unlock. Already if there is lock, you cannot apply lock. If there is no lock or something, then you cannot write. Okay, so these are some cases, and we go for the two-phase locking protocol. Two-phase. So the word itself tells there is a two-phase. What is a two-phase? So two-phase are nothing but you will be doing the locking phase in two different phases. One phase is called growing phase and the other one is called shrinking phase. Growing phase is nothing but it obtains lock, but it will not do any unlocking process. Only locking process will be done. Then that is called growing phase. Only unlock process will be done. Okay, will release only the unlocks. Okay, then that is called growing phase. For example, here I have the normal process is lock B, reading, doing some operation, writing, unlocking, reading, doing operation, writing, unlocking. When see this particular example with respect to the two-phase locking, reading, updating, writing, locking, reading, updating, writing. Finally, only you will be doing unlocking of these two accounts. So when you do, so you can say till this. Okay, till this second lock, it is lock. It is growing phase. Okay, this last phases are unlocking phase. So you are going to do the lock in two different phases. So this is called, and we can say this particular growing, okay, last end part of the growing phase is called the lock point of the transaction. So this two-phasing also have basic, conservative, strict, rigorous two-phase locking system. Okay, basics nothing but whatever I shown here. This process called basic two-phase locking protocol. Conservative two-phase protocol is nothing but it is predefined or pre-declarative read or write set. Okay, what we'll do? So the basic two phases, I'll start my transaction and my first step is locking. So in conservative two-phase protocol, two-phase locking protocol is before starting the transaction, you will get to know to which account I'm going to make the transaction. All these things you will identify, and before beginning your transaction, you will have all the required accounts. Okay, so locking in prior, which means locking before transaction itself is called conservative two-phase protocol. Strict two-phase protocol is nothing but without making a commit you cannot go, without making a lock you cannot start. Likewise, if you make, that is called strict two-phase locking protocol. Rigorous two-phase locking protocol is nothing but, so the transaction, if transaction T does not release any of its lock until after its commit or abort, so it is easy to implement. Okay, if this is not going to, if I make my system to not to unrelease, okay, if I am very strict in maintaining the unreleased part, then it is easy to implement the strict part, right? So that is, if I'm holding the non-locking process, then I cannot continue with the next step. So you have to commit. Likewise, you are making something locked, right? So that is called rigorous lock. Next, you have lock conversations. So lock conversation, which means two types of lock conversation. How you will convert from one lock to other lock, where we have two types of locks. Like, so we have, how we will do with the help of upgrade and downgrade. Upgrade is now nothing but when I am in shared mode, I want to make it to write mode. So I have to make my lock from shared mode to the exclusive mode. So that is called upgrade mode. If I completed my writing process, now I'm letting my account only for the reading purpose, then what I will do, I will move from exclusive mode to the shared mode. If this is happening, then that is called downgrading. Okay, so these are the log conversations also. Thank you.